What's up, guys? I'm gonna be using this mic to talk on this video. There's gonna be some gameplay in the background. So all of us know that play for Xbox, at least, that yeah, Xbox officials is pretty much screwed over. Like, the official is done for. Like, duping has reached a new level of we're basically in legacy, like I said in the last video. It's ridiculous. I actually had a couple of people pull up on the server that the tribe Los Bandidos is with 7 of the same gigas. Now, normally I'll be like, it's not the same giga if they have clone on their name, which, you know, that means they got clone. No. And they pulled up with, like, I think it was like 5 mechs, the exact same mechs, fucking 7 gigas, those same Paracerithiums, Stegos. Like, it was ridiculous. I was like, bro, what is going on here? Like, what am I seeing this stuff? Like, I thought, to my understanding, that you were able to dupe items, you know? I thought that, well, to my understanding, you were able to dupe cryos. I did not think that you were able to dupe the same dinosaurs in the cryo and toss them all at once. I thought that back in Legacy, they fixed that, and whenever there was the same exact dinosaur, it would just kind of like delete it, in a sense, unless they're like a clone, because even clones have their own special ID. And only with the depth gun, you know, when you go to single player and you go GMC, you could see the individual ID or like sample number. Clones have their own individual sample numbers. There's not the same. It might show the same for us, but for depth and for the computer, it would be completely different. So you would think that the computer would pick up on that. This is the exact same item ID or sample ID, delete, you know? But it seems like people are just not happening, and it's reached a new stage where it's like, it's ridiculous. And I kind of wanted to open a discussion, because it seems like people are talking it about all on Twitter. I've been following Twitter. I've been following Sets, and has been like a really good person. Like, you know, he's trying his best. You can't really come at the guy when he's representing, like, he's representing Wildcard, but at the same time, he's trying to give us the news, but not just drop everything on us, because then we'll be like, okay, well, how about some answers? You know, he's trying to do it like, he's basically playing dad right now and be like, okay, this is what you guys need to hear right now, and I'm gonna hold judgment, and like, I'm gonna hold and restrain this until we have more details. That way I'm not like, hey, we're doing this, and be like, okay, well, how are you gonna do this? And be like, I don't know. You see? So one of his tweets, he actually said that they were not thinking about doing a wipe. Well, they were discussing about doing a wipe, but it was a highly unlikely not to happen. Now, that's all fun, but it brings up the point. It's like, well, how else are you gonna fix this? Even if they were to go and start banning people that are duping, even if they were going around and trying to like get rid of all the items, I feel like that would be more of a job. They would take, the damage is so big that it would take them a good month or so to get rid of all of those items. Even if they go around wiping people, like, it still beats the fact that like there has been players and tribes that have been wiped because of people pulling up with dupe stuff. You know, when you are a legit player on this game and you're trying your best to survive, and then somebody literally goes dupes their freaking like 375, 385 giga, milli gigas, and they all dupe them, and they pull up to your base and completely foundation wipe you. But then let's say those guys got wiped, so then what happens to you? Do you get your base back? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's gonna happen then? Like, it kind of puts you in a situation, be like, okay, well, I got wiped because of the cheating going on, so now what? So now now we don't only have meshing, but we also have duping. It's reached a new catastrophe level. And now I know that it's only happening on Xbox, and I love my Xbox community, but I cannot say that we're not toxic, dude. As soon as this came to light, everybody and their mother was going crazy. I want to say, not the black market, but I'm in the Discord, like the trading Discord, so everybody in the Discord was like, hey, selling mechs, and then they showed like a tons of mechs, and I'm like, what is going on here? People are just pulling up to the server with things that are just ridiculous. Like my base, like even both my solo and my tribe base, we have a bunch of like ascendant things that we've been killing people, because people would just literally run up to like our base, and then all we end up doing is putting battery turrets and putting them on high, switching them from medium to high, and then they kill them. And then when we go grab kids on the floor, they have like ascendant compounds, ascendant like sniper rifles, a bunch of bullets and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, well, when people go raiding, people go with like ramshackle or like, not even, sorry, journeyman or apprentice like things like gear or like loot. Why? Because they're easily disposable. You could craft new. If you get kitted, then oh well, you know, you could craft new ones. But when people are pulling in with ascendant mechs, ascendant loot, ascendant gear. It just makes you think like, okay, well, either these people are beyond incredibly rich, or they're just duping. You see, it just reminds me of the legacy days. If you guys remember back in the days when I did living off the loot, I almost said surviving off the loot, living off the loot. You remember all those duping, like, oh, not duping, sorry, all those items that I had, ascendant this, ascendant that, all this stuff. It was because the duping was so incredibly bad that anybody had dupe stuff. And it comes down to the point that if Wildcard is going around banning people that have dupe items and stuff like that, what is going to happen with the legit players that have dupe items, but they themselves did not dupe those items? Are they going to get depth wipe? Like, what's going to happen? Because I woke up this morning, there was people like claiming that they got depth wipe on official, not on small tribes. There was people saying that they got depth wipe and stuff. I'm like, I mean, I would think if a dev logs in and it says 7 gigas just lined up and they all have the same sample number, it's like, well, it's obviously what the hell you're doing in here, you know? But it just comes down to the fact, like, what's going to happen? How are they going to track these things down? The damage has been done. I understand that they literally said that they put a patch through license and it's supposed to come out and it's supposed to completely patch the dupe. That is fine. But what's going to happen afterwards? Does that mean that Xbox officials will be wiped? Will they be rolled back? Now, somebody brought up another good point on the Twitter, and they said, I can't find that tweet, but people were saying, hey, man, if you're gonna roll back the server, you can't just do it for a week or two. You need to roll back that server for like 2 months or so, you know, because at the end of the day, duping has been going around for like a good couple of months, according to sources, and people saying that duping has been around since like on Valentine's. People were duping the Valentine little candies, and then after that they started duping the mechs, and then it just went wild ballistic of everybody duping everything they could freaking get their hands on. And the reason why is because, like, I guess somebody brought it up to light, and then everybody was just like, screw this, share it with everybody. And then everybody's like, well, I mean, everybody's duping, let's do it. So what it comes down to, it's like, if they're gonna do a rollback, how big of a rollback they're doing, because all of us art players right now are just kind of in a standstill, because they're like, well, if there's gonna be a wipe, what's the point of me farming or raising dinos? If there's gonna be a rollback, what's the point of me doing anything? Do we just stand there and do nothing? Or do we wait? Or like example, if they do a rollback like a month ago to 4 weeks ago, that means that I probably won't even have a base, or like Los Bandidos base will not exist, because we've only really been around for like 2 weeks or so, like 3 weeks, I want to say. That's as big as, like, you know, like a month or something like that we've been. And if they do roll back like 2 months or something like that, I think I would still have my official base on the actual aberration. So I guess that's a bonus, because I would have my base back and it hadn't been raided, and I would have all my stuff there. But it still comes down to the fact that it was like, what about all those people that have been putting in mad work for the last 2 months? Like, you know, should they just be wiping all the other guys that have been big? They're still going to keep their base. Like, what's going to happen? I think, and hear me out here, I think the best thing that they could do right now to official, once they patch this duping, is to completely wipe all the servers. Because a lot of people were like, well, it doesn't matter because I'm gonna go to Valguero and not care about this. Cool. So what happens when they open Valguero up and then all these dupe items come over from Valguero from like official servers, official small tribes even, and then they come into Valguero? Like, what's gonna happen? Like, that little base that you were building for 90 days trying to build up in turrets, it's gonna get destroyed by a bunch of dupe mechs, a bunch of dupe gigas, a bunch of everything, you know? They can't leave all those items, and this is exactly what happened in Legacy. It was so bad, so bad. Towards the end of Legacy, or I want to say towards the beginning, like when they were about to release Arc, that whole year before it, or months, like I want to say like 5 months before it, duping went incredible. Like, it was so bad at that point, because then they were patching the dupe glitches. And they were just kind of leaving the items there. And if somebody reported people, then they would show up, see if it's actually dupe items. And then they would just delete that base and wipe that person, or depth wipe that person. That's when the depth wipes first started happening, I want to say. I don't know if it's real. But what ended up happening shortly after is that they came up with a new duping glitch, which was incredible, because all it did was crash servers. It was ridiculous how bad it was. People were selling structures for like PayPal, all types of stuff, and then, like, you know, Wildcard was saying, oh, you can't do that, and then people were saying, well, technically it's not going against the rules because you're a beta, you're not really an official game, so therefore you're on the clear. So people were just like buying and selling things for PayPal. It was ridiculous. And then what ended up happening was that it was so bad, so bad, that Wildcard themselves couldn't be bothered with it. So they literally said, hey, we're gonna wipe all of these servers that are basically empty, And from now, and then the reason why those servers were empty in the beginning is because people will dupe on those servers. So it was just constant crashes after crashes that it was impossible to play on the server. So people would just move on to the next one. Because I remember back then there were servers specifically be like, don't go to that server because that's a dupe server. You're going to lose your character. You might lose a lot of stuff. So what they did is that they wiped all of those servers, and then shortly after they were like, they made an announcement saying, hey, there's going to be legacy servers and real official servers. Does that mean that, like what I said on one of my community like posts, it was like, does that mean there's going to be a legacy V2? Because you have to remember, Wildcard has to pay for these servers to be up. You know, it's not like they just like, hey, let's make a free server. They have to pay for these servers. This is why they remove old servers and they add new ones. Because I'm like, why are we paying for an old server that nobody's playing on? Let's invest that money into a new server that people will play on. Small Tribes only has overall 93 servers. That's all they have. 93 servers on all of Small Tribes. Meanwhile, Official has like a good 1,000 something like that servers. And like literally, I want to say 75% of those servers are practically empty. Meanwhile, 93 servers on Small Tribes, and all of those servers are usually full. If they're not full, it's because people just get wiped on a daily basis. So this is why I've always said they need to add new servers, and people are like, no, like the servers to begin with, they're not really filled up right now. So why would they add new servers? I was like, because if they add the new servers and they close them, people would actually come back, because then that means that they could actually build up, you know, and not just like get wiped by like the big dogs that have like top stat manas, top stat freaking dinos and everything like that. What's gonna happen to us legit players? Like, what's gonna happen to us? Like, what are we gonna, like, are we gonna get wiped if we have like items that are dupe? Because then it's like, I mean, I have a bunch of Ascendant stuff that I got from people. Like, I don't know if I want to throw that out. I know it's dupe. I'm almost certain that it's dupe. But at the same time, I don't know, should I throw it out? Like, it's a waste of things, you know? Like, all that C4 that we got from people, all those freaking tech things that we got from them because they were fobbing up and then they had a bunch of tech on them, and it's like, what the hell are you guys doing? I don't know, man. Like, as we stand right now, like, we already had enough as it was with meshing. Now there's no need for you to do anything on official. Like, official basically feels pointless now. What's the point of me breeding or anything? Like, what if they roll back the server, like I was saying earlier? Like, then what? Like, all that work that I did for nothing, like going sleepless hours or trying to make it for that imprint, you know? Like, what's the point right now? Small Tribes are basically stale right now, and a lot of people are going to dedicated because meshing is still a thing, especially on Xbox. Xbox's meshing is crazy, and then people are like, well, you know, they can't pay. Yes, they have. They fixed meshing on PC. Basically, the reason why is because when you have a Steam account, if you get wiped on a Steam account, you have to buy the game on another Steam account in order for you, not wiped, sorry. If you get banned, you have to buy the game on another account in order for you to play the game. Now, the game is only like $15 right now for playing Ark, not including the DLCs and everything. But that's $15 you got to pay to play the game again and stuff like that. While on Xbox, there's this thing called game sharing. Remember that? And if you have your Xbox set to home Xbox on whatever gamer tag you bought Ark on, you could have multiple accounts. So let's say I make an account and then I go and I start meshing people with that account, right? And then it comes back to the devs that this person is meshing. They're gonna ban that account. Cool, they banned that account. I'll just go make another account and I'll do the same thing all over again. No repercussions for me. I don't have to buy the game over again. My IP is not getting banned. There's no, like, there's like, you know, like, it's just like, hey, Johnny, go in that corner. Oh, okay. And then, like, that's all you're really getting. Get a timeout, 10 minutes, basically. And then not even a timeout, because you could just go make another gamer tag and then it's easy. Making an email is free, bro. Like, you don't have to. You could just make a brand new email and then spawn in with a new character. That's how people make body bags. That's how people make alts. Screw it. Like, that's literally how I showed you guys how to do it when I was making body bags. It's nothing out of this world. Like, you know, people are doing that, and then people just won't play on their main gamer tags. That way their main gamer tag won't get banned. And people will be like, okay, well, what if your main gamer tag gets banned? Okay, well, your main gamer tag gets banned, but you still have the game, so you could always log in with another gamer tag with that game. You see, so I see Wildcard's like point of view, but at the same time, I understand. I could see it as like, it's not really a Wildcard thing, it's more of a Microsoft thing, because, like, you know what I mean? It's like, what are they supposed to do? And this is where I say, was like, well, that Nerd Parade came out with that thing, or the community came out with that anti-dupe thing. And as much as, like, said, hey, man, that's literally what we have implemented. But instead of giving people unfair bans for the fact that, you know, they're probably not even meshing. They just fell into the mesh by mistake because the game and stuff like that and logic. It doesn't matter, because on Xbox, like, they need to implement that on the servers because it's really that bad. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, am I supposed to just stand there and wait, see them get meshing me? Like, if I put any mesh defenses, or people have said it was like, if I put any mesh defenses or leave them there overnight and somebody was to report it, I get banned for meshing when I was just trying to protect my base. And I know somebody said a long time ago, what did a dev put a tweet, or a dev typed in saying, as long as you have turrets, you know, it's not considered mesh. But technically you went inside the mesh, you mesh in order for you to put a defense. And now there's structures in the mesh that are your structures, and you will get banned for it. A lot of people on my Discord were getting banned for meshing, basically, and some of them were saying, oh, I just had mesh defenses. I don't know if I believe all of them, but I'm sure some of them were meshing and some of them were not. But it's just like, I'm trying to make an open letter here for like a conversation in the comments. You know, I know a lot of times I get toxicity. I know a lot of times that you suck at PvP, you're an asshole and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, true. But at the end of the day, this game is fun, man. Like, we all enjoy it. We all play it. You know, it's like crack, basically. We're addicted to it as much as we don't want to play it because we hate it, because it's bad, it's broken and stuff like that. We still end up playing it. You know, it's like your ex. You end up rolling back to her eventually. But we're at a time right now where, like, it's like somebody put in me saying this is the end, like end game. Because it's like, what are we supposed to do now? Like, we're basically at a standstill. Like, we were already trying to put up with the best as we could with meshing. And just like, people are just being afraid of being meshed all the time because nobody plays legit anymore in this game. Everybody just kind of meshes. Nobody really raids legit, because raiding legit is kind of like boring, I guess. I don't know. But nobody wants to soak because they think soaking is boring. I agree, soaking is boring. That's why I always try to make plays with flak runs and stuff like that. But there's some bases that are just impossible to raid. It's gonna take hours and hours, so people, I guess, find that boring, and they don't really they're not up to the challenge, so they just go like, screw it, I'm gonna get under the mesh and try to mesh. As it stands right now, Arc Official on Xbox is unplayable. If you want to take a break from it, like Lucky by Nature said, I would go to a dedicated server. Even in dedicated right now, people are duping because they can. Now there's different, because it's like the clusters there are a little bit smaller. You're not dealing with masses and masses and masses of servers. So hopefully if the admins are active, they will be able to slap that down and ban those people before it gets. But like, if Walker is gonna go banning everybody who dupe, we're looking at about 75% of the population that is gonna be banned, which would make Arc dead on Xbox. And I'm not saying that to defend the dupers, because I feel like, yes, they should be fucking banned if that's the case. But I'm saying that in the sense of like, would you want to play an Arc that is empty? Like, what's the point? The whole point of PvP, I'm not talking, mind you, I'm talking about all about PvP, not PvE. I'm sure PvE would not be affected, because I don't know anybody that would find the need to dupe on PvE when that's all you really have to do over there, just raise tames and fight the wild or the environment. When you're in PvP, you not only have to fight the environment, but you have to fight your neighbor. So it's a whole different story. And I just think, like, at this point, they, like I said in the beginning, they just need to wipe the servers. Like, I don't know how else they're gonna do this, because it's just, I don't know. If they start banning people and dev wiping people, it's pretty much unfair, because there's people that don't have a base now because of this exploit. They got raided, they got wiped. It makes the game, like I said on my community post, it makes it really, really hard to play legit anymore, because it's like you're playing against such advantages, and you're like, well, I have to do this in order to stay alive. But then it's like, if I have to do that in order to stay alive, then what's the point of me playing a game if I have to cheat? You know, it's like playing GTA and then like just putting the money cheat. So now you have all this money and you're like, well, just how am I supposed to enjoy the game when I have everything? There's nothing for me to strive for to get when I have everything I need now. Like, what's the point? Oh, I go PvP, just kill a bunch of people. Cool, you have fun, that's cool. But then you're not really raiding for loot. You're just PvPing. Like, what's the point of you going through all that struggle of like raiding a base when you already have everything you need? You're just gonna go in there and be like, oh, I have all this stuff and everything. It was like, oh, I have better. Oh, I have better than this. Oh, I have better than this. Oh, I have better than this. And it's like, oh, what was the point of me doing this now? It's just a question. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm not blaming Wildcard, but what I'm trying to make is I'm trying to make a point that they need to wipe. As much as people hate it, they need to wipe the servers. Like, it's just that much. People are saying, oh, just make new clusters, just make this. They're not. I'm sure of you that they're not gonna do that. If they do a rollback, I will be surprised if they do a rollback, because I know people are gonna be mad about the fact that they're gonna do a rollback, because all these people that invested time in it, they basically did a rollback. It's like, well, you know, and a lot of people on the Twitter are saying, like, don't even do a rollback. Like, what's the point? So funny thing happened. As I was actually finished editing the video, they decided to come up with this little thing. So clarify, this will be item uploads. So now they added a thing where, like, you're in 15 minutes, so that's already happened. It's in the servers now. You are basically, now you cannot transfer. I don't think this says anything about character transfers, so you can still transfer characters, but you are not going to be able to transfer items. Kind of like the same thing they had when you know, extinction came out, or when aberration came out. You know, you're able to transfer your character but not any items, which is fine. I think that the game should have always been like this. You know, you shouldn't be able to transfer items or anything like that. Transferring like regular characters, I think that that's how the game should have been. You know, like, I don't know anything else. And then check this out. People are literally commenting in the bottom. Look at this. 2,225 beehive gates, 121 days. Like, that is in 278 teleporters, or transmitters, I should say. Jets. Shit, bro, that's crazy. The amount of duping that is going. Look how much C4 this is. That's incredible. Like, and this is why I said at the beginning. This one's funny. He says wildcard at this moment to Xbox players. But like, this is where I was trying to get at now. Like, what is the point on all of this? Like, what are we supposed to do now? Like, you know, like, where do we stand as it is now? Like, are they gonna wipe the servers? They need to wipe, because how are they gonna get rid of all of these items? You know, like, they can't trace them down, all of them down, and there's bound to be a couple of loose ends here and there. So the best way to patch all the holes, they need to wipe the servers. I mean, I don't know. I think those are my thoughts. What do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comments down below. Like I said, let's talk about this. Let's see what happens. It's not only duping, it's the meshing on Xbox. It just seems like everything that could go wrong is going wrong right now on Xbox, and I don't know, man. Like, I just can't. It makes this game really unplayable right now. And now, like, it's gonna be like very stale. Like, you're not gonna be able to do any server transfers, so you can't really go off server in PvP or any of that sort. So how long is this gonna be for? You know, like, what is there? Like, is this just a little band-aid until they figure out what's gonna happen? I mean, at least they did this and they finally patched it. Like, they finally put a stop to the duping for now. But for how long? Like, you know, like, and I feel like it's just a little bit too late. I feel like as soon as they got a whiff of that, they would have just been like, bam, no transfers allowed. We're trying to fix the duping. I'm sure if they would have said that, people would have been pissed, but we were like, all right, well, at least they hit it. You know, they hit it while they, like, right now. But now it's kind of like, damn, bro, it's a little too late. There's all these gears and all types of stuff everywhere. You saw all this tech, all this crazy stuff. And then people like my tribe and I, that we legit farm for Ellament, like, and stuff like that. Now people are gonna be like, oh, they probably duped over that stuff. It's like, no, motherfucker, we were doing Ellie veins. We were actually, you know, putting out there, actually putting in work. You know, if you guys don't know, 1 times 3, if you have a mantis and you do 50k Ellie vein and it's a good melee mantis with a good pick, you would actually get anything like 800 to like 900 element. Like, I'm talking about like element, not shards, not dust, element. So I mean, I don't know, man. Let's see what happens. I guess we're gonna go into like breeding episodes and stuff now with this until they decide to remove this. I mean, I still got a couple of raids here and there, videos that I could put out, but I mean, until next time, guys, bye.